Hello, divas, diamonds, and dolls. Welcome back to our YouTube channel, Femininity with Momma Gail. Let's talk about the metamorphosis from caterpillar to butterfly. This feminine journey for those of us who are transitioning from masculine energy into feminine energy. It's definitely a metamorphosis. Now, while there is no cookie cutter way into becoming feminine, we all have our own journey to take. And it may not be in a way that I have taken or this person has taken. You have your own journey as long as we get there. But know that the process is not always an easy process because the caterpillar crawls on its stomach and has to go through a transition before it takes wings and is able to fly. So in the transition of becoming, we still have a past. We still have the caterpillar phase that we have to get over. Now, while the caterpillar can go into a cocoon and nature will take over and transition it into a beautiful butterfly, that's not the case for us. We have to work on getting over the past, getting past the past, or including some things from the past into our feminine journey. Now, some of us, as of myself, growing up the way that I grew up, there was a lot of things that I had to overcome, a lot of fears, fear of being vulnerable, fear of trusting people. I had to read books and listen to lectures and Brene Brown over and over again, talking about vulnerability and being able to relate and not wanting to open up, being brave, and things of that nature. I had to listen, soak in, read books before I began this journey. And in the reading, it helped me to understand that I needed to heal some things from the past. When I was 4 years old, I watched my mother being raped by my father's best friend. He knew my dad wasn't home. He come barge and bust through the door and rapes my mother right in front of me. And with me being 4 years old, what could I do but cry? And I cried, and I could still see myself and still have that image of seeing him rip my mother's clothes off, throw her on the couch, smack her, hurt her. And me being vulnerable and afraid, and nobody came to rescue her. Who am I going to trust? My dad wasn't home. He couldn't protect her. How could he protect me? Who's going to protect me? That messed up my trust issues at 4 years old. Being vulnerable. I felt like there was nobody in this world. It messed with my issue and my relationship with God for many years. Because how could I trust you? You weren't there to protect my mother. How you going to protect me? I was wide open, vulnerable. So with the different things from the past, the being vulnerable, being open to receive. I don't need nobody to do nothing for me. If I can't get it, I don't want it. I'm not going to do it. But when you transition into learning to trust and be vulnerable and to accept and to receive and to allow, and you have issues from the past, it's not going to be easy. I had to cry many days, struggle many days, think about whether I really want to walk this walk, do this journey. Because either I'm going to do it wholeheartedly or I'm not going to do it at all. But I knew that there had to be more to life than what it was that I was experiencing. And I kept saying to myself, there has to be more to life to this than this. I didn't grow up around femininity. Masculinity was everywhere. All of the women who I grew up around were masculine, in masculine energy. As I stated, I grew up in the projects. Growing up in the projects, I saw some things that no child should see. So the masculine energy was a product of my environment. Everything around me was masculine. Until I saw a drag queen who's transgender, feminine, sensual, elegant. And I knew that there was something different about her. And in seeing that difference, it made me want to choose to do something different later on in life. Because right then and there, I didn't know what it was that she had. But the metamorphosis is a struggle. Because you remember things, you see things, you have to work on things, you have to get counseling and things of that nature in certain areas if you need it. Like I said, there's no cookie cutter way for any of us. All of our experiences are different. But when you struggle and you find yourself facing struggles, hard times, it's hard for me to get past this. It's hard for me to press on. It's hard for me to do this. Even if you fall down, sweetness, sweep yourself off, dust yourself off, and get back up and start the feminine journey all over again. In the beginning years and not so beginning years, it's only been a 5-year journey for me. I've had to cry, I had to cuss and fuss, defend myself because I felt like somebody was trying to get over, things of that nature, and then had to snap back into girly femininity. And they looked at me like, this girl must be crazy. She just cussed me out in full-blown masculine energy, and now here she is, Miss Cute and Pretty again. Things I had to deal with. But in the metamorphosis, when you really find yourself flowing more over into the feminine energy, you learn to restrain from some things. You see things from a different perspective. Like, this is not even worth it. I'm not coming out of character in order to address you when you're going to be here this time in 5 years, and I'm pressing on to be somewhere else. So just like the caterpillar does not come out of the cocoon to address anything that was going on from the past of the caterpillar, so must we not come out of character after a certain period of time. When you start to feel the nudge, your feminine energy, your intuition kicking in and telling you, don't even bother that. You see beyond what this is. You already know what this is. You already know where this is coming from. Don't even address it. Stay in full feminine energy. Learning to listen to intuition while you're in that cocoon. Learning to overlook. Learning to trust. Learning to say, okay, let me try something different. Learning to say, you know what, this person has never done anything wrong to me. Let me give them a chance. And then if they give me a reason not to trust them, it's curtains from then. From the cocoon stage, you'll find yourself in a place where feminine energy, you're leaning more in your feminine energy and your feminine radiance, and femininity will speak to you and tell you to stay in the full flow in feminine energy, and you won't think about being in masculine energy, responding the way that you used to respond, saying the words out of your mouth that you used to say, doing things the way that you used to do, not trusting, not being vulnerable, not being open, not being allowing, receiving. Because when you're in your full feminine energy, you're in a place where, okay, I'm in a sweet spot. I'm in a sweet place, in a sweet space. This is who I am. And it's not thought about. You don't have to think about who you are. You just are. And when you're sensual in your femininity, when you add your sensuality into your femininity, it brings you to a place of beautiful body language where you flow because you are, not because you're working on in the metamorphosis stage, or because you're a caterpillar. You know that you're now a full-blown butterfly. You're flying. You're beautiful. You're radiant. You're attractive. You're alluring. You're sweet. You're beautiful to the eye, full of color, radiance, and light. You know, things have changed. You're no longer who you used to be. So the metamorphosis is real. It's hard. It's a struggle. But even if you drop the baton, get back up and keep running. I don't know where that came from. We're talking about a caterpillar. But anyhow, even if it takes you a little longer in the metamorphosis stage, keep pressing, caterpillar. You will gain your wings and begin to fly. Things will change. You just have to be determined to transition, determined to become, and determined to fly. And you will. This is Femininity with Momma Gail. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a blessed and prosperous day, divas, diamonds, and dolls.